Check out the judge's videos on YouTube and also his book, From the Trench to the Bench, available on Amazon.com.
And if you have any questions, ask Judge Herb at gmail.com. I will answer. I got an interesting call, by the way. I'll tell you about it next week.
Cool.
Yeah.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some. So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now. Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you with startup capital, business strategy, sales and marketing, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, you may visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com or call them at 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away. Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some. So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
There's your long ball. Stretch, stretch, stretch. You can put it on the board. Yes.
Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. Today's show is brought to you by Legal Shield, providing legal protection and peace of mind for less than $1 a day. Legal Shield can help with traffic tickets, texting and driving, DUIs, court appearances, estate planning, and even contracts given to you that you just don't understand. Plus a whole lot more. Call Legal Shield right now at 213-245-1305. That's 213-245-1305. Again, 213-245-1305. Or visit them at nocourt.us and tell them the circus sent you. Also, a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and our NBC Sports affiliates from coast to coast. And a big congratulations to the Sports Circus. Today marks the 2-year anniversary of the Sports Circus being on, and a big round of applause for the circus. And we are joined today by 2-time Cy Young Award winner, World Series champion, 10-year Major League Baseball pitcher, AL MVP, 3-time All-Star, Denny McLain. Denny, how are you today?
Hi, good evening. Congratulations on the 2 years.
Well, thank you very much, and it's nice to have you on.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yes, sir. So obviously, we do have a signal in Chicago, which is great. Our local audience is WCGO 1590. It's our Westwood One News affiliate there. And I'm from Chicagoland as well, as you are, too. You're a Mount Carmel guy, huh?
Yep, I'm a Mount Carmel guy. Went there in the 60s, well, late 50s, early 60s. And, graduated and signed a letter to go to Notre Dame on a baseball scholarship, first one they had ever offered. And about 2 days before I was supposed to go down and sign the formal paperwork, the White Sox and about 10 other teams showed up on my doorstep and started offering me money. And the White Sox and the Yankees both offered me $17,500 to play ball. And lo and behold, I said, goodbye, Notre Dame. $17,500 back in 1962
right.
was a ton of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money back then.
With the $17,500, I bought 2 convertibles, one for me, one for my mother, and then bought a bunch of clothes, and still had, I paid off the house, and then still had about $2,000 left at the end of that spending spree.
Excellent.
That's incredible. And so the home team,
really
the home team Sox got to you first, and I see. In fact,
yeah, they did.
Wasn't? Let's see. You were 19, and you did throw a complete game. You threw a 7-hitter, did you not, in your first game?
Oh, in the big leagues, yeah.
Yeah.
I pitched against the White Sox,
and that was against the White Sox, right?
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they let me go. They had they had some sophisticated problems with the way the rules were written at the time. You could only keep, if you signed players to a major league contract, you could only keep two. You could only keep two. So if you signed 10, you could only keep still two. If you signed 2, you could keep the 2. So with the White Sox, they had 3 guys. Me, a guy by the name of Bruce Howard, who just graduated from Villanova, had a nice little curveball, a good slider, a decent fastball, and had won in college all the way through his 4 years. And then the other guy was a name you guys should remember, Dave DeBuscher,
Right.
who was an All-American at the University of Detroit, went with the White Sox for a number of years. Dave could throw the ball as hard as anybody, but Dave's fastball wasn't no movement, and he had pretty bad control. But keep this in mind, he went on to be all-everything in the NBA, became president of the New York basketball team. I think he was president of the New York team for 10 or 12 years. So he did very, very well. Baseball didn't miss him. He didn't miss baseball. And he made a fortune with the basketball team in New York.
Right. Well, now, I mean, in the pitching world, let's face it, some guys have longevity. I mean, I was that aspiring pitcher. I went to Oak Park River Forest High School, and I came out of high school throwing really hard, and I only had a couple of years, and then I got the scholarships, but I only played 2 years, and then a few years into the campaign after high school, I tore the rotor cuff, and that was the end of it for me, so I didn't really get a chance to go, with that kind of longevity. But you're the last guy to win 30 games. You won 31 games, and this is what struck me out of all that. I mean, look, all the complete games that you pitched out of all the games you started, I look at this in today's time and say, me personally, I don't like the use of the sabermetrics and the bullpens, the way they burn through them. That pitchers don't face adversity. They don't get a chance to recover. It's just one guy's opinion. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's the only way that I see it really effective. First of all, my father-in-law was Lou Boudreau,
and he did the Cubs games on the radio broadcast as well.
27 years. Yep, 27 years. Of course, he was a Hall of Famer with the Cleveland Indians.
Yes, sir.
And 48, he was the MVP in the American League. Anyway, he taught me one thing, and it didn't take good effect with me for a while, but the one thing he did teach me, he says, you'll never ever go wrong writing everything down after a ball game where they hit the ball. He said there will always be some consistency in where these guys have a tendency to hit the ball. Well, if we believe that, and which he certainly did say, then he was practicing sabermetrics long before these guys even thought about it without a computer.
Sure thing.
And I saw a lot of his notes at one time. And he would have every game down, black and white. He knew exactly where the ball was hit, the likelihood of where it was going to be hit the next time they played him. So he was way ahead of it. And listen, he had to be way ahead of it. At 24, they made him manager. So, I mean, he was really a bright guy. And as a matter of fact, like I've always told everybody all my life, if you look up the word father-in-law in the encyclopedia or on the internet or what have you, and I swear to you his picture will come up. That's what kind of man he was.
Wow, that's incredible. Hey, let me ask you real quick, because now we're only running up on about a minute or so left in the segment, and you may have to go. If you want to stick around with us, that's great. But let me ask you real quick.
I can do another segment.
Okay, good. Well, let me ask you this. Chew on this one. Keeping hitters in between. I know a lot of people in the audience, they don't know what that means. But explain what it means to keep a hitter in between, and how do you keep them in between for a 10-year stretch? Because you are pretty good at what you're doing, your craft. You're an incredible pitcher. How did you keep hitters in between?
Well, first of all, you had to stay healthy. You had to play with a good ball club. You had to work. You had to work very, very hard because, remember, once you get to the big leagues, you're playing the best all-stars in the country. You're playing with them and against them. You can start off in A-ball, high school, college. Those are all real good players, and they're all-stars in their own right. But now as you start to move up the ladder, A-ball, it's tougher. Double-A, much tougher. Triple-A, beyond belief how tough it gets. And then, of course, once you get to the major leagues, you can't believe how good they are. And I'll just give you one stat. They're so good, you cannot. And here's where the road is separated. The game is so much better because these guys who are in the major leagues, the game is so much quicker. It's a faster game than any of the other leagues. Maybe you put all the leagues together and it doesn't match the major league. So that's the biggest difference between, A-ball, AA, college, high school. And
Okay, folks, we're going to be back in just a few minutes here on the Sports Circus with Denny McLain. Don't go anywhere.
So, you want to be in show business. Do people tell you that you're really funny, you have a great personality, and you should have your own talk show? Many of us have been told that, but we don't know how to get started. It's easier than you think. Let the pros at Cali Vegas give you a free talent evaluation. Call 949-445-1119 and learn how quickly you can create, produce, and host your very own talk show. Imagine not having to sit in traffic every day, commuting back and forth to the same old boring job. Get started in television or radio today with your free talent evaluation from Cali Vegas. Call 949-445-1119 or visit them online at calivegas.com. Make your dream come true today and create your new career and learn how to become a television or radio star with the help of Cali Vegas. 949-445-1119. Call now. Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some.
You're listening to Global American Broadcasting, the Gab Radio Network. For more info on our programs and services, including technical operations and syndication, please visit gabradionetwork.com.
Warning, don't let your business get left behind in what is likely to be the biggest economic boom in recent history. If you need to build for your business to grow, call General Steel today for a pre-engineered steel building designed for your needs. No wasted space. Steel prices are expected to rise, but you can still lock in your price on a General Steel building. And you can still save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. As much as half. But you must call now. If you need a church building, office, warehouse, manufacturing space, retail space, or more, call General Steel today. You can still get the General's 50-year structural warranty and General Steel quality, all at a price you can afford. So don't let rising steel prices put your project out of reach and stop you from making your company great.
800-965-1297. 800-965-1297. 800-965-1297. That's 800-965-1297.
Okay, folks, welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. This segment is brought to you by Cali Vegas, helping people just like you create and host your very own radio, TV, or multimedia talk show. Cali Vegas can help you with everything you need to get out of sitting in hours of traffic every day and host your very own talk show in your very own studio. Call Cali Vegas at 949-445-1119. That's 949-445-1119. Again, 949-445-1119. Or visit them at calivegas.com. That's CALI Vegas.com. And tell them the circus sent you. Also, a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and our NBC Sports affiliates from coast to coast, including our friends over in Honolulu on NBC Sports 1500 KHKA in sunny Southern California, KCAA, our NBC News, CNBC Financial, and NBC Sports affiliate 106.5 FM, 102.3, and 1050 AM right here in Las Vegas. KSHP 1400, home of your Arizona Diamondbacks. In Chicago, WCGO 1590, our Westwood One News affiliate. And, of course, on the New York Yankees radio network, WOVL 1340 and 105.3 FM. Cover the greater Buffalo and Toronto markets. And, of course, we're still waiting for a call from the Mars Rover. Folks, if you want to call in and ask Denny a question or ask anybody from the Sports Circus a question, give us a call at 844-305-7800, 844-305-7800. Again, 844-305-7800. And Denny, thanks for coming back for another segment.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Okay, so we left off, I asked you about keeping hitters in between. What does that mean for the general listening audience?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by it. You mean being able to pitch to these guys all the time?
Well, what I mean is keeping them off balance, keeping them at a position maybe.
Well,
I
think that term is blowing up a lot. Listen, if you got good stuff and you can throw strikes, you're going to win. In most cases, if you're playing with a good ball club, decent ball club. Mm-hmm. So, the last thing in the world you want to do is show a guy up. Although the game today has certainly changed. They show guys up all the time. Hitters hit home runs, and they stand at home plate till the ball clears the universe.
And then they flip the bat. Right, then they flip the bat on top of it. So that's ridiculous.
Ever got away with that when we played. I mean, because the next time you'd come up, or even the next hitter would have to suffer the repercussions of somebody watching the home run, because it's a direct insult in some form, one way or the other.
Right.
And maybe they're protecting the hitters better today than ever before, but the game has lost a little bit of its luster. And I'm afraid it's going to lose a little bit more before they start making the adjustments that bring the game back to where it was. Listen, they can solve a lot of problems by just raising the mound back where it was, 16 inches. Why the hell should all these guys who played before 1969, why should they all have the benefit of a 16-inch mound, and then the rest of us after 68, 69 not have the same benefit when all these records were set when we were still in the womb, for God's sakes? Right. So why should they? You change the rules. You change the records. You change everything, and now it's not a fair comparison. The game it's changed dramatically. When they will realize it, I don't know, but I hope sooner than later.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I don't like, just watching it from the seats, is I don't like the intentional pass as here, let's just motion to first base. I want to see.
That sucks.
They have to go through
really
the motions.
Sucks.
Yeah, I want to see them go through the motions, because sometimes you'll see the pitcher throw it over the catcher's head.
Well, they say the average time that the pitcher throws the ball over the catcher's head or lets one get away is about 8 or 9 times a year. That's a lot.
It sure is.
A lot, where a guy is able to go from second to third or wherever it might be. That's, why they're talking about saving time for the fans. If they're going to save time, quit using 4 pitchers every night. Let the starter pitch. Let the starter go as far as he can or as far as he wants to. Mm-hmm. Listen, we all know when a guy needs to come out of a ball game. It's when he starts walking guys, the ball comes up, and he starts giving up base hits. It doesn't take a nuclear scientist to figure this game out. But for some reason, they think they know it better. Because somebody had some success with this computerized system, they think everybody should do it. And I'm telling you right now, the same thing that they're doing, Lou did in the 40s and 50s, based upon propensities of where somebody's going to hit the ball. That's really what it's all about. The other stuff, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't count, because a pitcher never forgets how you got a guy out. I can tell you how I got Tony Olive out. I can tell you how I got the other guys out I pitched against in my career, Boop, Howell, and all the rest, because it's just a natural thing, I think, to retain that kind of knowledge.
Right. No, absolutely. Folks, we're here with 2-time Cy Young Award winner Denny McLain. And Denny, we have a call coming in from Larry.
Okay.
Larry, you're with us.
Larry, how are you?
Yes, I am. How are you both doing?
Good, Larry.
Denny, I wanted to tell you, first of all, what a privilege it is to talk to you. And I'm one of those guys who's older and was there when you won more games in 2 years than most people do in a career. And what a I want to say to you what a privilege, because the game then and the game today is so much different. And I guess what I want to find out is what's your take. Well, let me just say it this way: I've been around baseball for 50 years, and the change in the game, particularly with analytics. I mean, I don't think it's helped the game, and I just wanted your take on it.
Well, I think if you use it for propensities, the guy's going to hit the ball more down the left field line or left center or right center. I think it's applicable there. But it was applicable when I played. We still had the shift on. I mean, Boudreaux's the one that invented the shift back in the 40s. I mean, Lord, nobody got ahead of him in the game at that time. So the things they're now doing are things that have been around a long time. Guys, for whatever reason, maybe they didn't recognize propensities. What I've always said is our guys, most of our guys, and this is not a shot at anybody, please, don't take this the wrong way, but I think a lot of our guys that played the game of baseball between the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s didn't go to school, or they only went to a few years of school, and they found out they could play baseball, and they wanted to go to a big city and play ball. So I think that's where I don't think they knew what the word propensity meant. I don't think they knew what the shift was all about. Sure, they could identify it once it was on the field, but did they really understand it? And I suggest to you that they did not. And it's taken a whole bunch of guys to at least get the players to think about these shifts. And as far as the game goes, defensively and what have you, it does help the game. It helps the players. It helps the pitcher. But the problem with propensities is that you better do it all the time, because if they start to learn to hit the ball the other way, based upon where you're looking for the propensities, you're going to be in a lot more trouble than you were without them.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. That's, with the progressive baseball thinking, what the league and we've seen this now in the minor leagues. And as far as extra inning goes, a lot of people are complaining about it for a lot of different reasons, whether it's players, coaches, even the workers inside, and sometimes the fans.
Sure.
What do you think about the idea? I have a very, very specific opinion on this, but I want to know what you think about them starting guys on second base in extra innings.
Well, I don't. This is child play. This really is.
Complete
you're going to now want to hurry the game up in the 10th inning, the 11th inning. Is there any reason why now, in the most important part of the game, we're playing sudden death at that point in time? Is there any reason in the world why we have to hurry it along to get it over with? We've just played over 3 hours, more than likely.
Exactly.
And now we're worried about the next 20 minutes, for God's sake. So I don't get it. I just, they're trying to do things they believe that will improve the speed of the game. And thus far, they have not discovered a secret chemical or a secret player or a secret plan, because it does not exist. It just doesn't exist.
Right. Now, Larry, we have time for one more quick question. We only have a couple minutes left in the segment, so make it quick.
Well, I guess my question would be, you see 8-man, you see 8-man relief pitchers on a roster. So, I mean, maybe I'm being a little facetious, but 7-8-man reliefs. When you were pitching, you pitched a lot of complete games. You don't see that anymore. So, what's your take on that? Do you like the way it was with guys like you and Bob Gibson, or do you like the way it is today, where you might have 3 or 4 pitchers in one inning, pitching to one batter?
Sure. Well, let me answer it this way. The difference is, the only thing I'd want is more money. I mean, I think we would all want more money if it was available. But I would not change one thing. I would not change one thing for the game to put me in the game that it is today. I was a 9-inning guy. Gibson, 9-inning guy. Marichal, Koufax, Drysdale. We were all 9-inning guys. And if you take away our best weapon, in other words, the ability to pitch, especially in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, then you're taking away wins that we believe are the most important thing when we go out there. I heard a conversation in our Detroit clubhouse just before the end of the season between 2 guys. One guy telling the other guy, one veteran and one kid who just came up this year in September, telling him, he says, listen, Just go out there, do a good job. You don't even have to win anymore. The game is no longer about winning. Just keep the game close, and they'll love you, and you may stick around for 20 years. Isn't that a hell of a way to start the game?
That's a great way. Hey, listen, Denny McLain, again, you're welcome to stick around. Otherwise, it's great having you on the Sports Circus. You're welcome on any time. You tell me if you want to stick around for a little bit more or not. It's up to you.
I can't tonight, but you know what? The next week or two, you call me, and I'll be glad to do it again. I've really enjoyed this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, big welcome and a big thank you for Denny McLain showing up here at the Sports Circus. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company. Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
How many of you are managing information across multiple data silos? With the number of data sources exploding at a phenomenal rate, this is not uncommon. Since the number of data sources has increased, the number of tools used to manage those sources has also exploded. But is this the only way to manage data? Join Insight Analysis and renowned business intelligence expert Mike Ferguson for a master data management class. Get control of your data, how to design, operate, and manage an enterprise data lake. This is a limited opportunity seminar taking place in Chicago, October 15th and 16th, then in Atlanta, October 18th and 19th. Text INSIDER to 25827 to get your discount code good for 30% off the registration fee. This won't last long. Text INSIDER to 25827 to get your 30% today. Text INSIDER to 25827.
Okay, folks, welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. This segment is brought to you by the American Business Trust Company, helping your company with business strategy, sales and marketing, capital resources, and establishing your company with a physical location or on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea, and the American Business Trust Company can help with the rest. Visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's ABTRUSTCO, abtrustco.com, or call 657-600-1876. That's 657-600-1876. That's the American Business Trust Company. Again, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They can help your business right away. So a big welcome to everybody listening in on iHeartRadio and our NBC Sports affiliates from coast to coast. And, boy, we just had a great guest And Denny McLain, boy, he is one of those really, really hard to get guests, and winning 2 Cy Youngs, winning 31 games. The last guy to win 30 games in Major League Baseball, and he did it in 1968. 50 years ago it was done. Wow, just incredible. And we held loyal listener Larry over for this segment as well. Larry, what did you think of Denny McLain?
Dynamite. And let me tell you something. Great personality, very sincere. And I'll tell you something. He is a dinosaur. The game of baseball today and the game of baseball when he played, it's like a different game.
Right. Well, actually, you know what it reminded me of? Talking to him was very similar to talking to my buddy Rick Barry. Now, Rick Barry is a very, very difficult interview for a lot of people because he's been asked the same damn question 10,000 times in 4,000 different ways. And you get tired of asking or answering these questions. You can only answer them so many times. So, when you speak to these people from maybe from a position player to position player type of thing, right? From pitcher to pitcher or first baseman to first baseman, you have a different dialogue, and the flow of it goes a hell of a lot smoother. But when I look at the accomplishments that somebody like he had, and then I look here, take this for example, Larry. Take 1968. He goes 31-6 with 280 strikeouts, 281 strikeouts. In the next year, he goes 24-7, if I'm not mistaken, and he has 181 strikeouts. 100 less strikeouts wins 7 less games, but the guy is still at the top of his game. And again, winning another Cy Young the next year with 100 less strikeouts. That's incredible.
It is incredible. In fact, what he said, which really, really stuck with me, is he said, when I get into the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, it's like don't take me out because I want to finish this off myself. That really hit me because pitchers today, what are they, 5, 6 inning starters? So all they got to do is get past the 6th inning. It's all relief pitchers.
Right. It's like going to the horse races and having the horse run 3/4 of the race, and then when they come spinning out of the turn, they're on the home stretch. Oh, sorry, it's time to quit, and let's bring somebody else in. Same analogy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. And that's absolutely the truth. And that's why you have 7- and 8-man relief staffs today in Major League Baseball, and they wear out the relief pitchers, but the starters, and then they give the starters 4 and 5 days rest.
Oh, I know. It's just completely ridiculous. When we think of the longevity of pitchers and the fact that the pitchers don't really face adversity today, back in the day when he threw, even, in the not-so-distant past when I threw, it was the old eye test. You take a look and see if the guy is missing up. If I'm on the hill and I'm leaving my pitches up in the strike zone, now I'm tired. And then if I'm suddenly missing everything low, that means I'm aiming the ball, right? And then you become wild in the strike zone. And so the eye test is kind of done these days. But where the eye test is not done and where it's just about a big money grab is in the college football CFP rankings. How about that ranking system producing a team that doesn't even have to play a championship game? That's unbelievable. How about Notre Dame getting a pass?
And it's the only division.
That's disgusting.
And it's the only division that does that. The FCS 2 and 3, whatever, they have 16-team playoffs.
Right. Do you think that they got it right with? Larry, do you think they got it right for the top 4?
Division, the FCS. I don't know all these divisions' names, but they win the second division. They've won like 4 games, 3 and 4 games against top opponents. They're 11-0, 10-1, and they can really be crowned a champion. How do you do that with Alabama and Clemson and all these guys when other teams like UCF should have a chance to compete?
They should. And they have certainly proven that they can win without their star quarterback. They've already done it 3 times this season. And let's face it, those guys are left on the outside looking in, and they're going to have a really good game against LSU. But the fact is they'll beat LSU at the Fiesta Bowl, and they're going to raise another banner in their stadium, and rightfully so. I'm going to give it up to the University of Central Florida Knights because those guys deserve to be in the Final Four and they are going to beat LSU, and they will win their 26th game. And here's an interesting stat. The University of Central Florida has the longest streak since the AP was put together in 1936 of 25 wins of 30 points or more consecutively.
Unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. Gosh.
It is. And think about this. Last year, they beat an Auburn team that beat Alabama.
That's right. And they beat them handily. It wasn't like they beat them at the last second. No, Auburn got a garbage time touchdown at the end of the game to make it look closer. But no, UCF absolutely controlled that game. And now we're going to see a Final Four which features Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma. And unfortunately, UCF is left out of that. Notre Dame has to play no championship game. And let's face it, Oklahoma is not the best of the one-loss teams, but this is all about the money grab for Tua versus Kyler in the in the Orange Bowl, right? We're going to put the two Heisman candidates that are really leading everything, and we're going to make it a made-for-TV reality series type of a show.
Well, a good example of that is, each team that's playing for in the top four is going to pull. Each team is going to pull in excess of $20 million per team for just the one game. I'm not talking about for the tournament.
Right.
Just the one game. Now you go to a bowl like the Music City Bowl. These teams are getting like $800,000.
Right.
I mean, and they have to split that with the league. The point is that the rich continue to get richer, and there's such a disparity, and they have no chance whatsoever to compete.
Right. Okay. So look at some of the other bowl games. Let's go to December 15th, the Las Vegas Bowl, which is Arizona State against Fresno State. Now, Fresno is a good, solid two-side-of-the-ball team. Those guys can beat almost anybody in the country, and they're matched up against Arizona State, who doesn't even want to go to the Las Vegas Bowl. How does Fresno State get up for that? And Arizona State probably says, let's just miss the bus up to Vegas.
Well, I mean, Fresno State will get up for the game because they're playing a Pac-12 opponent. But you're right about Arizona State. I mean, they're 6-5. Their season is essentially over. I mean, what are they playing for?
Nothing.
Okay, and this is an Arizona State team that would not ever schedule a Fresno State team in the regular season. So again, it goes back to disparity.
Well, Larry, last time I saw Fresno State play was at the Sam Boyd Stadium, and they absolutely destroyed the local team. But it's not like Fresno State wants to really go there because, let's face it, they're meant for a better bowl game, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, they would love to be like any team. They're 11-2. They would love to be able to say, "Hey, we'd like a shot. We'd like a chance." And they don't, these teams that are mid-majors, they don't get a chance. And again, it's the rich get richer, and I don't mean to put them down, but it's the rich that get richer, and everybody else, it's mediocrity.
Well, why wouldn't they pin Fresno State, for example, just sticking with them? Why wouldn't they pin them maybe in the Independence Bowl against Duke in Shreveport, Louisiana? One of the older bowl games that has a little bit more luster to it, you know what I mean? And against a formidable opponent that has a really, really good quarterback to match up with the offensive power of Fresno State. And, by the way, Fresno does have a defense as well. Now, that would seem to make a little more sense to me.
Defense.
Yeah.
Well, I agree, but, one of the best bowl games this season is actually going to be what was the heart of Texas Bowl. I don't know what they call it now, but it's Boston College and Boise State, and Boston College, in my opinion, hasn't played a team. Maybe Purdue, but they haven't played a team of the caliber of Boise State, who is, by the way, favored. So I think games like that make it very interesting because again, you don't get the shot. These teams don't get a shot to play. In essence, they don't get to play them.
Right. Well, listen, Larry, I appreciate that input. I want to carry on with this in the next segment. Folks, I just want to make sure you hear that. Again, this is the 500th show for the Sports Circus. We started 2 years ago. Actually, we've actually done over 500 shows, a combination between television and radio. But a big congratulations, of course, for the longevity of the Sports Circus. 2 years, buddy, it's been on today. Pretty exciting stuff. Anyway, folks, we're going to be back in just a few minutes with a little bit more college football, maybe a little NFL. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come. Back in a minute.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company. 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
Do you have any questions about legal issues? Have you ever been stopped by a police officer and issued a ticket that you're scared to deal with? Have you ever been in trouble with the law and don't know what to do? Do you have a will or power of attorney question? Is your home being foreclosed upon and you don't know where to turn? Maybe you were given a contract that you don't understand. For freedom and a worry-free solution, call for Legal Shield today at 213-245-1305. It's that simple. You will have access to high-quality law firms that will fight for you for less than $1 a day. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's for Legal Shield. Call 213-245-1305 or visit us at nocourt.us. It's justice for all and not justice for some.
You're listening to Global American Broadcasting, the Gab Radio Network. For more info on our programs and services, including technical operations and syndication, please visit gabradionetwork.com.
Is your lifestyle a busy one? Do you find yourself pulled in different directions? Fight fatigue and occasional stress with Quantum Nutrition Lab's Max Stress B. This B vitamin-rich formula delivers advanced support for mood balance and energy levels, as well as the liver, brain, immune system, cardiovascular system, and adrenal glands. Buy 2 bottles, get the third one free. Call 888-588-7578, 888-588-7578, or visit us online at qnlabs.com. That's qnlabs.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in to get your questions answered and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family. Our product line, Quantum Nutrition Labs, delivers what others only promise, nutrition that really works.
Healthline is distributed nationally by the Gab Radio Network.
Okay, folks, welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal. Make sure you check us out at thesportscircus.com. Lots of upcoming guests, just like we had Denny McLain earlier today. Check out the sponsors that we have and make sure you see who's on the show. And believe me, you're not going to be by yourself. Last month, we eclipsed 7 million visitors to the Sports Circus. That's unbelievable. 7 million. We're averaging over 3.2 million visits per month. Folks, people like us because we're weird and quirky, and guess what? We have great faces for radio. All right, we're joined by loyal listener Larry. And Larry, we were talking about college football, and some of the upcoming games. And an intriguing game is the Music City Bowl on December 28th, featuring Auburn against Purdue. That's going to be
Pretty
a great
good
game.
Listen, Sal, I want to say something to you and your listeners. I've listened to a lot of your shows over the last 2 years, and in my opinion, there's nobody on the radio that makes listening to radio sports more interesting. In essence, I thoroughly enjoy your show, and you deserve a tribute for the way you put it on. Your guests, I mean, you have a who's who in a guest list. So, just wanted to say, as a listener, how much I enjoy your show.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Well, we just try to have fun here. We've got Cub fan over there taking care of us in Chicago right now. We've had so many people that have joined the circus in and out. We started off with Sideshow Bob, and we had the Human Cannonball, and we had Kid Dynamite, and a lot of other contributors. We have Long Beach Lenny contributes to the show, and from Theo Ratliff to Alicia Thompson, WNBA champion, Colin Frazier, our 3-time Stanley Cup champion, NHL report. Our MMA reporter for Lisa King, she is our first MMA champion on the women's side, the Muay Thai fighting side. Bronco Billy Wright from boxing, 4-time WBC boxing champion. Jock Jones, Anthony Davis with 5 national titles. A lot of people really contribute to the show. And over in Chicago, they do a great job for us, whether it's Rocky or Cub fan or even Captain Man-Crush. We haven't seen him for quite some time. And a big thanks to Chuck and Sonar over there for making everything happen, too. But I got to tell you, I mean, it's a team effort. A lot of people are putting a lot of time into this. And let's face it, going home from work, a lot of people driving home on the 5, the 405, the 10, 110, 605. Pick your favorite freeway, the 91, the 60, 57, 55, the 94, 80, 94, 90, you name it, H1 in Hawaii. I mean, everywhere around the country. The fact is, we want to be people's companions driving home, and not just another scoreboard show, the same crap that they hear. Hey, I heard that in the morning. Now I got to hear it again on the way home from work. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We don't like that. So the good news is, Larry, is that it's people like you that take the time to listen to us that really make us who we are and what we've done, and that's why we stay on the air. So a big tribute to all the listeners out there. All right, so back to this college football thing. Auburn and Purdue. Why are we looking at that one? Because that really shapes up to be an interesting matchup.
Really does. You've got total offense versus a pretty good defense, and not a super offense in terms of Auburn. But Auburn's a team of SEC and all that. But I have to tell you, the way Purdue manhandled Ohio State,
yes!
I think Auburn's in for quite a day.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I don't believe that Auburn is going to be able to keep up with the scoring of Purdue. I really don't, because, look, Auburn has a running game, and Purdue has shown that they cannot stop the run. But the fact is, if David Blau was going to throw for 450, 500 yards, Auburn's going to be saying, I got to play catch-up. I got to play catch-up the entire game, and they're going to have to go to their strength, which is running the ball. The problem is you could throw it a hell of a lot faster and further than running the ball. And so Auburn's going to try to slow the game down, but Purdue can run the ball just as well. I mean, they've got guys on that club that could do a hell of a lot of running. And we're talking about guys like Rondell Moore and Markel Jones. I mean, these guys can just flat run. And don't forget DJ Knox. These guys are going to probably play on Sunday, whereas only a couple of the guys from the Auburn squad are going to be playing on Sundays.
Well, there's another part of that. Is if I'm Purdue and I know they're going to run the ball, I put 8 in the box. So I mean, I'm going to force Auburn to throw the ball. So when you say Purdue can't stop the run, I think they can, and they proved they could against Ohio State. And they also proved they can stop the pass. I think that Purdue's a lot better defensively than people give them credit for.
Well, and see, that's exactly why I'm thinking about the Rose Bowl, for example, with Ohio State and Washington. Remember, Washington is predicated on what? defense, stopping the run and stopping the pass. These guys are a very good defensive squad. We saw what they did in the Apple Cup to Washington State. I mean, I got to tell you.
They just killed them.
Right, and I believe Ohio State's going to really have their hands full with Washington in the Rose Bowl. That should be a very entertaining game.
I don't know about that, but I'll tell you one thing. I think it's going to be a defensive struggle. I think they're going to be able to bottle up Haskins for Ohio State. I don't think he's going to be a prolific passer against Washington.
Well, I don't know about that, but I tell you what, you know who's going to be a prolific passer in that game? It's going to be Browning against Ohio State's secondary, because their secondary has shown that they are extremely mediocre. They're strong up front, but they are very, very pedestrian once you get into that secondary. And that's where Browning's going to shine, because Browning will throw the ball downfield.
Well, if I'm Brome, the coach at Purdue, the coach at Chris Peterson, the coach at Washington, I'm looking at the Purdue game. He got caught up in Purdue. I'm looking at the Purdue game to see how did Purdue beat them, and it isn't just outscoring them. I think it's also out defensing them.
Okay, so let's stick to that real quick in the last few minutes of the segment here. Let's go to the NFL real quick, and let's take a closer look at what happened in that Chargers-Steelers game. Now, it seemed to me that the Steelers simply fell asleep in that game.
I would agree.
And
I think it was one of the, that is the Steeler football. I think that the backlash on that's going to be heavy.
I believe so too, and also we have to think about what happened up in Green Bay with McCarthy being fired. Now, I do understand the idea that Aaron Rodgers is going to want to have his input, but I'm told, just like everybody else, is that he's not going to have any say on the coaching staff that's going to come in, or the coach that's going to replace Mike McCarthy. I think that's a big mistake, because you've got to have your coach and your quarterback on the same page. Because let's face it, Rodgers is going to be around for another 5 years. You better have the right guy in there.
So why, in your opinion, why do you think they fired him, and why did they fire him right now, not at the end of the year?
I don't know. I talked to Marv Fleming about that earlier, and, Marv was a Packer great, and he asked me the same question. And I said, Marv, it's bad business to fire a coach in the middle of the regular season. It's really, in my opinion, it's just bad business. But the fact is, the Packers are so desperate to make the playoffs that, yes, they still legitimately have a shot, because everybody in the Central or North Division, they lost. So they're in the same position they were in last week. And it's not out of the realm of possibility that they can turn it around, but I do believe that bringing your coach out of the picture shows no faith in the system that's already in place, and that means that somebody's going to have to go out and learn a new system, whether it's the quarterback, whether it's a halfback, whether it's a wide receiver, it's a tight end. Who knows? Could be the offensive line, could be the linebackers. Someone's going to have to go out and learn a new system somewhere along the line, because the new coach is going to bring in what? Their system.
2/3 of the way into the season?
Bad move. What do you think it was in the last minute here?
Yeah, of course it is. All the indications that I've heard is that the reason that they let McCarthy go was because of the clubhouse.
Right. Well,
the
guess what?
Clubhouse is one of those that you could cut it. You could cut it with a knife.
Well, guess what? For all the Packer fans out there, and for our friends in Chicago, this is for all you Packer fans and our beloved Bear fans. Yes! And the Packers are coming apart at the seams. Gotta love it. All right, folks, that's going to do it for the 2-year anniversary show for the Sports Circus for Denny McLain, 2-time Cy Young Award winner, MVP, World Series champion, All-Star, and for loyal listener Larry for stopping by in the circus today. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time right here on your favorite station. Until then, so long, everyone.
Are you a small business owner or pursuing the dream of starting your own company? Do you know where to start or how to grow that existing business? The American Business Trust Company has the answers you need. The American Business Trust Company can help you start up with capital, business strategy, sales, and marketing, and establish your company with a physical location or an online presence on the internet. You decide. You bring the idea. Then American Business Trust can help with the rest. For a free evaluation, visit them online at abtrustco.com. That's abtrustco.com. Or call them at 657-600-1876. That's American Business Trust Company, 657-600-1876. Call them today. They'll help your business right away. That's American Business Trust Company. Online at abtrustco.com. American Business Trust Company.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.